About 24 people RSVP to this, and I'm sure that they'll be joining us as they can. All right. There shall be no discussion or activities for the purpose of arriving at any understanding or agreement regarding price, the terms or conditions of sale, distribution, volume of production, territories, or customers. There shall be no discussion or activity for the purpose of preventing any person or persons from gaining access to any market or customer for goods or services, nor any agreement or understanding to refrain from purchasing or using any material, equipment, services, or supplies. There shall be no discussion or activity that may be construed as forestalling or limiting research and development. We expect your full compliance with these guidelines, both while in attendance at this meeting and at all times and in all matters regarding IPWA. Thank you to everyone who is attending our Q2 Nestwork virtual networking event. Today we have Global Food Partners, HATO Lighting, and Jasper Heerkens. And I hope that I didn't butcher your last name. Because it can be hard for me to read off the cuff, who are going to talk about the collaboration that they have completed, and I think is still in process, because I think you all still have this project that's up and running. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Christina, I think, who is going to kick us off and do some framing, and then we'll continue in the agenda.
Modules allow you to replicate a variety of animal welfare conditions virtually instead of having to show them in real life. So these could be things that are rare events that are things we try to prevent from happening, so it's hard to see them in real life. Events that are hard to have people access because of biosecurity constraints or other constraints, and they allow people to see them virtually and develop confidence and skill in recognizing them, no matter whether they can see it in real life or not. Virtual and online trainings are easy to customize, so you can customize them with content specific to your company, specific to your geography, specific to the standard that you use. You can customize them with language, so whichever languages are used in your operation, you can apply the trainings in those languages, and you can update them easily. So if a standard changes, it's simple to update online and virtual content versus other forms of training. So the extended reality technology makes it look like you're within a poultry production space simply using your phone. So you can see a 360 view as if you were in that room and all of the things that you would visualize when you're there. This gives you access to spaces virtually that you might not otherwise be able to get to, and it protects biosecurity by having fewer people enter biosecure spaces.
Next steps would be joining IPWA, taking the trainings, and getting involved.
One thing is clear, that the farmers, they were interested to transition to cage-free, but they needed more support before they could make the transition. So, and what is exactly the support that they need? So you can see on the right chart, on the right side, that the farmers, they need technical advice as well as the access to the training and resources for them to support their transition process. And so then this become the basis for us to continue to do our work in not only in Indonesia, but in also other countries that GFP operates in. And so at that time, when we first started our work, cage-free farming was still a very new concept in many countries in Asia, including in Indonesia. And most of the farmers, they have never been to a cage-free farm. So it was very hard for them to imagine how such a system can be designed and can be managed successfully. So that's why that insight inspired us to then first to establish our first cage-free model farm and training center. It is located in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, which we called as our cage-free innovation and welfare hub. And this model farm and training center was inaugurated in May 2023. And then this project would have never been possible without the support of our consortium members. So as you can see here on the right side of your screen, we have our consortium members. So we partner with the Faculty of Animal Science Universitas Gadjah Mada, with the local university there in Yogyakarta, and they have been operating our model farm until now. And they've been also our partner in conducting of various of our training programs. And we also partner with ARS University of Applied Science in Netherlands, and they have been our technical partner throughout the project. Jasper, who is also here, who is also joining us today, has supported us all the way from the very beginning, from all the farm design planning stages, and he even flew over to Indonesia to conduct the training of trainers. And then we also very fortunate to receive support from various industry partners. As you can see here, we have Encomatic, we have Hendrix Genetics, Putraco, and also HATO, which provided the lighting system for the model farm. And so I'd now like to hand over the presentation to Carlos from HATO, who will also share more about HATO's contribution to this collaborative effort. So Carlos, over to you.
Thank you very much, Yolanda. Well, I'd like to start telling you about HATO. HATO is a Dutch company. We basically manufacture lighting systems for livestock. In this case, specifically, we're going to talk about poultry and what we have to offer for the poultry industry. But basically, what we want to do with all our system and all our collaborations is basically mimicking natural daylight and adapting that to the internal what's happening inside a barn, understanding the way the animal perceives light. So that's basically our messaging here is that we're an animal-centered company, and always we put the animal at the beginning of that equation. Animal is what's important to us. So, and in order to do that, we provided lights for this type of projects because we really want to support animal welfare. So to give you a little background on what HATO is, we've been more than 15 years, actually 52 years in the market. In 1974, HATO was founded with a light for mushrooms. We are more than 200 employees worldwide. We have probably now this is, we can update this. We have more than 50,000 systems installed worldwide, and we operate in more than 50 countries. So we have a very a wide approach to the market in terms of lighting. And something about our lights, and that's something that was important for us to transmit to this project, is our flicker-free lights. We identified that flicker is a stressor. And when we don't have an animal that is completely calm, they're not going to behave as well, and they're not going to be productive as well. So our technology, because we work on a platform of 48 volts, we can guarantee that our lights are flicker free. That way we can reduce aggression and feather pecking. And again, we're an animal-centered company, so welfare is very important for us. So what we want to do with our lights is mimicking natural daylight cycles with flicker-free technology and using the light spectrum to the different animal type, and that way we can adapt color and color temperature to each species. So that's basically it. Probably after this short presentation, we're going to have more time to discuss other topics. And I think this is the end of what I wanted to say here. I think it's now Jasper's turn.
Yep, Jasper, over to you.
Yes, okay, thank you. Well, hello everyone, and of course, thank you again for giving us the opportunity to participate in this Nestwork. Currently, I'm involved as an independent consultant in poultry husbandry, welfare, and training. But when I got involved in the whole project together with Global Food Partners, I was still working as a researcher and lecturer at the Eres Applied University, mainly focusing on sustainable poultry husbandry production. Yes, and in that a lot of background came together, because when we're talking about I say transitioning to cage-free laying hen production in regions where this is a rather novel practice, and focus is often on the infrastructure, the equipment, the housing systems, management, etc. Obviously, those are all important factors, but they need to come together within the network, but also within the people involved in the network. People who understand what needs to be done, but also the why, and that they have the right skills and knowledge to adopt to situation when it goes differently than as they learned from the textbooks. And in that whole, when you want to train people from a technical point of view or in the trainer program, a few aspects come together. As a PhD in poultry of in laying hen systems, especially in cage-free systems and the welfare involved, I was used to ask questions, find answers, and not rely on opinions. And after that, I started to work in the poultry industry as an advisor for both farmers as well as for the product development, where you have to put science into practice. It has to be economical and practical to be eventually adoptable. And after that, I went to work for the Applied University, and that all comes together. Your practical knowledge and your science knowledge, they are very valuable. But if you don't know how to translate that and to send the right information to those who need to learn, then you're still not reaching your goal of teach the people well. So over time, I realized that all those three need to come together. Separately, they are very important, but together as a network. And Cage-Free Welfare and Innovation Hub is a perfect example, is how that network actually really came together. How everyone got involved, everyone helped each other. So yes, we did the technical curriculum design, and we did the training of trainers program. But for that, we needed UGM, so University in Yogyakarta. But we also needed the input from HATO, Hendricks, and Vancomatic to build the curriculum. And from the more didactical part from the Eres Applied University, and we put together how do you teach the people who need to teach the people afterwards to make it a more, to have a durable effect, and that the knowledge sustains there where you leave it. And it also taught us some big differences, because where we start from, so the science part, the industry, and where the Applied University was based, it was in a part of the world where cage-free laying and husbandry has been common practice for years or even decades. But now that needed to be translated to different parts of the world, and that didn't only mean translating into a different language, but also translating into different situations, different resources. I learned about resources to feed or provide to hens I never heard of before. So also for the people involved, it's a learning process. Also, cultural differences is also something that you need to take into account when you develop a training program, because not all cultures act the same way or teach in the same way. So these are aspects that all came together in this project. of which it eventually was a learning process for everyone. So not only for those who were there attending as a participant, but also those who were contributing to the whole project. So hopefully in the breakout session I can share more thoughts about that, or you can ask your questions regarding such matters. And that was it for me.
Thank you, Jasper. Suddenly the screen sharing stopped, so I will share my screen. Okay, sorry for the technical glitch. Can you still see the screen now?
Yeah.
Everyone still see the screen? Okay. All right, so thank you, Jasper. I'll continue the presentation. So yeah, just as what was shared by Jasper and HATO, their role for this project has been something that is very important for us, because in Indonesia, K3, it was something very new, and we had zero knowledge about K3. We started with zero knowledge about K3, but then now, with the support of Jasper, HATO, and all the other consortium member, they have helped to make this model farm become a reality. And since its inauguration, this K3 Innovation and Welfare Hub has become much more than a model farm, but now it has become the center for a learning and collaboration for farmers and various stakeholders to come to that model farm and to learn about K3. And to date, we have trained more than 348 participants from a wide range of background at our model farm. As you can see in the charts on the left side of your screen, we have trained producer, academicians, students, government representative, corporates and supporting industry, and many other stakeholders as well. And they are coming not only from Indonesia, but also from various countries such as Philippines, Malaysia, India, and countries from Africa as well. And the impact of the training and all the collaboration that we have has been very encouraging. As you can see here, the data. Yes, before we inaugurate the model farm, we only had five K3 farmers in Indonesia. And since then, we inaugurate the model farm, and we've been having continuous various beds of training for various stakeholders. And as you can see here, the number of K3 farmers in Indonesia has been growing and growing. That from that five until today, we have more than 50 K3 farmers spread in various regions in Indonesia. And they have come together under an association called Indonesian K3 Association. We create a strong network where farmers can continue to learn and support each other. So this really demonstrate that with the right ecosystem of support, including the technical expertise from Jasper and the team from IRS University, the practical training that we had from industry partners such as HATO, the Fancomatic, Hotraco, and the Universitas Gadjah Mada, even in a market where the situation is very challenging, like in Indonesia, where the cage-free farming was once considered a very new and foreign concept, farmers are still willing and able to successfully transition to the cage-free system. So yeah, this success has also given global food partners the confidence for us to replicate this model not only in Indonesia but in other countries as well. We have model farm in China and India now, and we believe that this collaborative approach can also be adapted to many other countries globally, and especially in Asia, where the K3 system is still relatively new. So yeah, ultimately, growing a cage-free ecosystem is not something that can be done only by a single organization. As global food partners, we cannot do it alone by ourselves. It requires collaboration across various stakeholders, and only with that way we can really make it happen, and we can have this amazing impact and make this initiative successful. So yeah, that wraps up my presentation for today. So thank you very much. Lena, back to you.
Yeah, Christina, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Christina, Carlos, and Jasper. This was a fascinating look into a collaboration that's possible. Love to see, members working together in this way. And it seems like you guys are continuing to do some really fascinating work coming together. So I'm going to stop recording now, and we'll go into breakout rooms and meet each other with the group of people.